You are here for one thing and one thing only, board games.
And these are the best ones this month.
In this video, we're gonna rank our favorite board games of this month, and we're gonna categorize them in 3 groups. The first category is Other.
Game that was not for us.
And then there's Friends Collection, which we enjoyed, but we don't need it in our collection. And then it's My Collection, which means that I really want that game in my shelves.
I must have it. The first game I played this month is Daybreak. Daybreak is a game by the designer of Pandemic and one other guy. A cooperative game where you're trying to save the world. How can you save the world these days?
By getting rid of all the intruders.
Close enough. The
By
intruders
throwing
being
a ring
emissions.
into a mountain, getting clues and destroying Cthulhu.
I meant for realsies, okay? In this game, you're trying to save the world by reducing the amount of emissions, going green. Each player plays a nation that starts out with producing a lot of stuff, and all of that creates a lot of emissions. So we, all together, are playing cards and building our engine to try to stop that. And we win if we produce less emissions than the planet can soak up. The first time I played with my wife, she said, this game makes me depressed. Because it does tackle real themes. All the cards in this game have a QR code right here, which if you scan, you can read about the real thing, like dirty electricity phase out or reforestation. Let me try it again. No, let's do another one. There are events that are bad, that will mess with your plans, there's a bit of random.
Engine building is one of the most satisfying mechanisms you can have. Starting from nothing and then getting better, and having more. Why isn't there any co-op games that do that, right?
Well, now there is. Because I think this gives a really important lesson of how we can do things to kind of affect what's happening in the world.
Like telling a little less dad jokes and saving other people's nerves, right? That's a
I don't know what you mean.
humble thing to do.
I don't know what you mean.
Do you like detective movies?
Yes.
Good. Maybe you could be part of one. Because this is a detective movie in a box where you can take a part as the main protagonist, the detective. Murder in Prague does 2 very, very interesting things. At the beginning of the game, you will get a case file with the victim and with all the information you can have.
Wow.
Like real newspapers. Let's censor this, but there's real
murder scene
pictures.
Wow.
There's report of investigation, medical examiner, crime scene report.
It's like the movies.
8 bags of evidence, including bank accounts. The other half is that you will have a cinematic footage, including all the people you will investigate with the interviews you have with them. You watch the cinematic footage, then you get a new case file that you have time to go through and check. Then again cinematic footage, then again you check, and so on and on and on. This is by far the game that has made me feel like a detective. Really, really great. 2 minuses. First of all, this one is pretty expensive experience. I think it was 50 euros with discount. And I finished it in 3 hours.
There's one case in there.
And just one case in there. But there's the cinematic footage. It's an experience that's very unique. And the other thing is, those cinematic videos are just that. They're not very interactive. The only way you interact is with the case studies, and then you will answer a question at the end, basically. So it's really, really neat game. I loved it, but I also felt like it has potential to be more.
Now it's tricky. You've kind of finished it. Into which pile does this go?
They're not selling yet, but I think they're promoting another set of this, and I would definitely love to play that one as well.
Okay, mine's War Story. Occupied France. You're helping the French resistance resist in the Second World War. So yeah, kind of self-explanatory. Kind of like a paragraph game. If you do this, read this paragraph. If you do this, then read that paragraph. There are 3 missions in the game, and each mission has their own paragraph book. I played through the first mission. I didn't see, I think, even the third of what could have happened. You're gonna go on the mission, you're gonna choose your team. Sometimes they'll let you choose which location to visit and explore. Sometimes you'll have to make decisions on the spot real quick. Sometimes it will tell you if you have this amount of skill level for that, then you do that, otherwise you do this. Sometimes you will have a map where you actually physically lay out your agents and try to create an ambush or something. The worst part, or the best part, is how you look at it is, my whole team died by the end of this. Wow, the stakes are real. And the best part is when the mission ends, they give you a paragraph, and I read it, I'm like, damn Germans. I gotta go back in. It's a very small box, ton of stuff, and I can't imagine how much work went into this, yeah.
Next one for me is Kutna Hora.
It's actually a name of a place, right?
It's a city in Czech Republic.
Whoa. What is it with you with the Czech theme? Murder in Prague?
It's from Czech Games. So.
Uh-huh. Are you promoting Czechia somehow? I mean, what's going on here?
They find silver mine and adventurous people figure out, hey, you know, we could get some money working there. So more and more people go to that city of Kutna Hora and start to create it as one of the most buzzing cities in Europe. So it's essentially a Euro game where you do two things. You build buildings in different places that will score you points based on the icons on them, and then also go into the mines and create bigger and bigger mines and add your figures on top of them. Those are two things that will get you points. But while doing any of your actions, almost any, you will change the market. The more people come to the city, the more demand there is for different things like beer. So you have these two thingies that set the price for all the things, and almost every action that you do will change the market for all other players. You have to time your cards right when you get, for example, income. Choices, building, Euro game, market, resources. What's not to like? It's a really, really good Euro game, but unfortunately it doesn't do many unique things. It's really, really good. Just doesn't stand out from the crowd. Turns out that at this time, this was one of the biggest, if not the biggest and deepest mine in Europe. Did you know that? See how super smart I am because I read one paragraph in that rulebook?
Next game, and I think this is the first one from all the ones we've pitched so far, we've played actually both.
Both, yeah. That's the reason why it goes to the other collection.
Thank you, no need for more words. Bloodstones is a war game, through and through, but it is a fantasy war game.
Cause you will have dragons.
Somebody will. The Dragon Riders will have dragons.
Yeah, you didn't give me dragons.
No,
he gave dragons to his wife.
She chose, I didn't have a choice. First of all, I love these bags with these little tiles that are your units.
This handkerchief
Is the board. The game actually comes with a travel bag, so you can just throw out the box and throw everything into this little sports bag and just carry the game with you wherever you go. But the goal of the game is to score the most victory points. You're gonna score victory points by essentially building villages and controlling those areas with villages, or just coming in and destroying other players' villages. Each player will have tiles in front of them that you will use as units. You will build them as units. But to build them as units, you need to spend those same tiles. We pay with tiles to move units, we fight each other. The visuals for this game and the components are 10 out of 10. The gameplay is somewhere way below that. This game goes into my friend's collection.
Let's go from all these historic war Euro games and all that to something really silly, simple for you kids out there.
Oh wow,
him.
You're kind of putting a spotlight on this game.
Exactly. Originally it's a cooperative game, but also you can try to play it competitively if you want to. Here you go, you get one sheet, I get another sheet, you get a flashlight, I get a flashlight. We turn around the clock and see we need to find this person. And you try to count how many can you find. He will have different poses, so watch out. We do it in secret, we don't tell each other how many have we found.
Then I'm not gonna tell you that I haven't found a single one. All of them. Got it.
Time.
And by got it, I mean I don't got
Stop.
it. Okay.
Now we have to set this dial to the number we think we found. 4.
I found 3.
All right. So now what we do is we turn this card around and see how many are there on the map. So it's 4. You can move as many spaces as stars you have. So you move 1, 2.
Okay.
And I move also 2. Plus I guessed correctly, so plus 1. 1, 2, and 3. We play 5 cards and try to make sure that moon doesn't catch us.
Why couldn't I just put it like I found 10?
You could definitely, but if you overshoot it, then you don't move at all.
I see.
But there's nothing against you adding few extra if you think there should be more. There's also 2 sides of the flashlight. This is the bigger one and this is the super small one.
I love this effect. Cool.
It's a little silly game that I love. It's really, really cool. And last time we did Games of the Month, you created a new category, my kids. So this goes into that one.
We're gonna close out with something small. Trio is a memory game. You'll have some cards on the table in front of you, and then you'll have some cards in your hand. And you have to arrange them from the highest number to lowest. Because the goal of the game is to get 3 trios. 3 cards with the same number. On my turn, I'm gonna say, Giannis, show me your lowest number. And then you have to play your lowest number. Great. And everyone sees that. And now I can continue my turn and either flip one of these, ask you again, or show my own lowest number or highest. So I'll say, Yana, show me your lowest number again. So you'll play your next lowest number. So if those don't match, my turn ends. You take these back into your hand, and then it's your turn. And that's it, and that's just the way we play until somebody gets 3 sets of 3 cards, or if you get 3 sevens, then you win immediately. But it's very hard to get the sevens because they're right in the middle. Yeah, exactly. I don't like memory games. Generally, I really don't like memory games. But this didn't feel like it. And it's just really nice, and this is my go-to filler game now. One of the greatest filler games I've played in a very long time.
Oh.
So, wait. I brought a really small one, so you have to go out on a bang, right?
Yeah, and the bang is Harakiri, which is set in Japan. And it's a cooperative game where you go through different chapters and missions. Right here, I'm in the middle of the game. There are 2 parts. One is the adventure phase, where you travel through this map, and you have different stories and missions. Huge storybook, and with huge, I mean huge. And this is just Act 1, there's another act. These books for personal stories that only the people playing the character can see and read. First time I played it, I wanted to give it 10 out of 10. It reminds me of Elder Scrolls just in Japan. And then there's the second part, which is a dungeon crawler essentially. Get all your gains and losses, and then you will get into a different scuffle at the end. Some people will like that more than the adventure phase. I like the adventure phase better, and it's really, really neat. Except, number 1, the rulebook freaking sucks. This goes into the hall of very bad rulebooks.
Really?
You will constantly get into the situations which are tricky, and the rulebook just doesn't explain them. A few points, I just got really frustrated with this. Stories as well, a lot of those stories are... There's a lot of words there. That doesn't mean anything.
Well, I've played it once. Each player gets their character's like backstory booklet and their personal like story developing. I felt it could have been summarized in like 5 sentences. And they just keep droning on and not really saying anything.
Yeah.
Even though some of the event cards were pretty fun.
Whenever you move, depending on where you move and how much you move, you either will read the green, nice part, or the red, bad part. And there's other things that I've really enjoyed. Theme is great, it's beautiful game. The miniatures you have, there's tons of great things. I just definitely feel like it's not polished, it's not finished. If you're okay with those frustrations that you will get, it could be really, really good game. Right now I'm placing it in Friends collection.
First of all, we would like to say thank you to all of the supporters that support us, right?
Yeah, and second of all, consider becoming one of our supporters, because that really, really helps us doing this. And there's a lot of fun videos coming up.
Yeah, also, each month we do one video just for supporters. What are those videos? Well, there's one way you can find out.
Bye.
Bye!